Has anyone suggested trying to resolve things peacefully? No? Well, this is easier anyway.
Hello, SLAPAFISH community. Welcome back to another World Tanks Called Civilian. So in this video, I'm going to be driving the M47 Iron Arnie. As you heard, Milla Jovovich, I think I said her last name, is going to be driving the M47 Iron Arnie because I don't actually have Arnie as a commander. Nobody does, because they got to earn them. But I do have Milla, and I bought her, so just shove her in this tank. So, also, I'm going to have two different replays for you. The second match will be my first game ever in the M47 Iron Arnie, which turns out to be a really good match. And this match right here is actually going to show off a lot of skill that the tank can do. The reload, the mobility, its amazing view range, and quite a bit of armor. But the armor works a little bit better in the second match, I believe. And also kind of show you how to outplay opponents very easily. And that's what I'm going to be doing in this match. So let's talk about how I have this tank loaded out. I have the advanced loader, gun stabilizer, the powertrain, and the enhanced target info. Now, I also want to say that the Badger will be the first target I'm going to completely outplay in this match. I'm going to track the Badger out in the open, pretty much. There's one tracking hit, and with the fast reload, the Iron Arnie managed to track the Badger again, and to perma-track the Badger. Now, the base reload of the Iron Arnie is 8.6 seconds, and the DPM is 2,722, but with rations and rapid loading and advanced loader and born leader, you can get your reload down to 5.8 seconds, which is good enough to track out a Badger out in the open. I'm also going to do the same thing for the Type 5 Heavy. Now, I have born leader, rapid loading, 6th sense, situational awareness, steadying, dead eye, armor angling, blast stand, and muffle shot on this tank. And as you can see, I'm tracking this Type 4 Type 5 Heavy out in the open. It pins me in the side, which is fine. And thankfully to my Deadeye, I light the Type 5 on fire, and with a good reload, I am able to take down the Type 5 with no problem. So that's two tier 10s, two heavily armored tier 10s that I quite easily managed to knock out in this match.
We hit a module.
So, let's talk about this tank. This tank actually is armored to the teeth, especially when you are using your 10 degrees of gun depression. Yep, you have 10 degrees of gun depression. So, yeah, this tank is armored to the teeth. For being a medium, think about a Super Pershing when it first came out and putting it at tier 10. That's pretty much what this is. So, you have 330 millimeters of turret armor, plus some space armor all at the front, which is absolutely insane. Then you also have a 63 millimeter plate, plus a 101 millimeter plate on your upper plate, which makes, if you use your 10 degrees of gun depression, makes the upper plate 280 millimeters effectiveness, and the turret armor about 500 millimeters of effectiveness. So good luck pinning this tank when it's using its 10 degrees of gun depression. And the gun is actually quite nice on this tank, really, too. Like I said about the reload's quite really good. Its penetration is 268 on its standard, 330 on its premium. Same time is a quite good 1.9 seconds. You don't need to improve that at all. Accuracy is 0.36. And yeah, like I said, 10 degrees of gun depression, 54 rounds, doing 390 damage per shot. Yeah, easy. So, a lot of people was like, oh, PC has the Iron Arnie for tier 8, but the Iron Arnie on console is going to be a tier 10. Thinking it may suck, oh, it got nerfed or not, something. Well, no. I much prefer the Iron Arnie on console than PC, because on PC, the Iron Arnie is a okay tank. But on console, it has a lot of stats going for it. It has the gun going for it. It has the armor going for it. It also has a decent mobility. It's slower and a medium tanks. Not as slow as a Super Pershing. This tank goes 45 forward, 18 reverse with a power to weight ratio of 16.95. Also, I'm using another strength of the Iron Arnie right here as its base view range of 410, which is astounding. Base view range of 410. Now, 2 of my teammates just got knocked out. And I'm guessing they were going to the right side and they were pushing up, and the Terrans and the tanks were kind of sniping over there. Kind of spotted them out in the open and shot them dead. That's probably what happened. So that's why I'm using my view range and letting the bat chat go out there. And I'm just using my gun to snipe the tanks. There's a Centurion Action 10. And yeah. Also, I do carry a lot of high explosive on this tank. I am going to use some high explosives in this match. I was playing on Erlenberg and I was fighting a Super Conqueror hold down. I only had 7 high explosives loaded out on this tank. Used 6 of them to take down a Super Conqueror, and I've been using the high explosive rounds quite frequently on this tank to fight hold down tanks because it does 480 damage on average on its high explosive round. Now, here's a perfect example of the mobility, ramming potential, and high explosive against a tier 10 Tron. I know there are people sniping from the left, but I'm just gonna quietly focus off the Tron because my team needs help. That first one only hits the gun. Tron pins me, which is fine. Now, pin the second one, 472 damage. Ram the Tron, doesn't do that much, but set the Tron on fire. Tron is dead, and the Centurion Action 10 finished me off.
No problem.
Which I think that is a good trade. 1,000 hit points for a full health Tron. Did 7,200 damage. Also, that match lasted 15 minutes long. Yeah, 15 minutes.
Why didn't no one switch the tank controls like I asked?
Okay,
I'm
now,
left-handed.
this is my first match ever in the M47 Iron Arnie. As you can see, my loadout is completely different. Well, the ammunition loadout is different, and Milla is not talking as loud. I do fix that during this match because I think about it, like during this match. I was like, maybe I should actually have her voice a little bit louder than the rest of my settings so people can actually hear what she sounds like. And that is me doing this right here. As you can see, I am adjusting my controls, my volume controls. Accidentally go to HDR TV calibration, but hey, should be fixed a little bit now. So yeah, a little bit of a treat. So yeah, this was my first match in the M47 Iron Arnie. This one I've used more of my gun depression on the tank. Immediately I get shot by an Agula, which knocked out my turret. At the beginning I was like, that's weird. I'm guessing the the Agula kind of pinned me on my side armor. And there's a grill 15, sniping a little bit of the grill 15, just trying to get some Milla dialogue, and I get pinned again. Don't know where, but you'll notice the side armor and rear armor is not that good on this tank. It's all in the frontal armor, especially when you're using your 10 degrees of gun depression on this tank. There's a Diamondback that's going to pin my upper plate. I think it's the upper plate or lower plate, but the Diamondback has pretty good penetration, but bounces on the next shot. The Diamondback fires at me. Now I'm going to actually struggle against this Diamondback, and I'm going to load some heat rounds to start pinning. Something fired and pinned me in the ammo rack, and now I'm just getting shreds. Because I'm not using 10 degrees of gun depression, I'm just kind of sitting on top of a hill. And yeah. As you can see, if you don't use the armor correctly, it will fall apart. But when you do use the armor correctly, it works really nice. Basically, stay hold down. Keep your turret hold down. Use 10 degrees of gun depression and you shall be fine. Now, I am down to 137 hit points. I have only ricocheted one shot. But this match is not over. This match is completely not over. I've got my fill for the tank, got the armor fill, got the gun fill. kind of playing to see how the tank actually plays. Now I'm going to bait the TCC-2A to waste one of its premium rounds into my turret, and it gets absorbed, so that's nice. Now the armor, I'm really going to play towards the armor for the rest of this match, since I only have 137 hit points left. Use my armor, use my view range to outspot people, and use the gun to rip them apart. And try to help my allies as much as I possibly can. There is a VK7201K over there, which I keep looking over to try to find a shot, but I'm not. Kind of worry about passing out in the open like this, with this middle dip, but I think it may work. So I'm going to come over here, help my medium tank, which just killed the TCC-2 Alpha. There's the light tank I really want to snap down, killed, but realize there's a TD to my left, and also realize that the TD is behind a building. And now I'm going to start sniping the cupola of the tortoise. I'm going to fire better and actually start pinning the tortoise's cupola. So yeah, penetration is enough to go through the cupola of the tortoise, and I also get targeted and spotted and snapshotted the MX-13-105, which was a really nice shot. I believe that was the tank that was targeting me, and I also bounced a shot from the tortoise. So that's great. So right now it's a 3v3. Want to take out this tortoise as fast as possible, but there is a medium tank behind me. Now the tortoise on my team is facing the tortoise, and the medium tank is behind the tortoise, shooting the tortoise in the back of the tank, which I can't help the tortoise. I just bounced a shot by the tortoise. I can't help my friendly tortoise because if I do, then I expose myself to the tortoise, and also sitting behind a hill. Now, since we dealt with the tortoise, I can help my friend fight this AMX-30. Now, the AMX-30 is actually pretty much full health. Well, it's half health now, and I'm down to 137 hit points, and I really do not want that tortoise, the MX-30 to, charge me. I want the tortoise to take the brunt hit, because the tortoise has the hit points, has the armor. And if I go down, and it's a 1v2 for the tortoise, that's not going to be a very good day for that tortoise, because the AMX-30 can easily get behind the tortoise. Now, I was going to go far right, then I kind of was like, oh, I may not want to do this, because I don't want the AMX-30 to come out of nowhere, come over one of these ridge lines, snapshot into me, and I'll be dead. So I want to go back over here, go to my tortoise, help my tortoise out. Right here, it's a little bit tricky for me to do. Also, the VK7201K is definitely closing in. Pop a shot into the MX-30. The MX-30 ricochets off me. And now I'm going to pull back and try to track him when he comes over the hill. Put a shot into him. He hits my gun. And finding the shot on the MX-30. Repositioning. And poof. Dead. The armor, at the beginning of this match, I was not playing it to its potential. Now, for the rest of this match, since I've been on 137 hit points, I've been playing the armor quite decently well. Now, it's just me and the tortoise versus the VK7201K. That shot completely missed, because I'm trying not to get shot by a VK. And VK aims down the tortoise, and I put the killing shot in the VK. Voila! Voila! Nearly 7,000 damage, 5 kills, and yeah. I like this tank. It's a really nice tank. Do the ops. Get it 60% off for 9,000 gold. Anyway, that's it for this video. Remember, like, subscribe, also subscribe, because watch that, and peace out, see ya.